Hi, I'm Joe Camacho. In this video, we're going to be using Annie here, who's a 4-month-old Sheltie. And one of the big issues that the clients had was that she was very rambunctious and liked to jump up on top of everybody when people would come over, and she would try and nip at their toes and stuff like that when they get out of the shower. So what we're doing here in the first clip is just showing how to keep the dog from jumping up on people using a real simple off command. You see real quickly the dog starts to understand that jumping is completely unacceptable. But from time to time, mistakes are going to happen, and you're going to see here in just a little bit where she tests me again and she jumps right back up. And then we fix it and we get it right back on the ground. And the only reason for the leash right now is to keep her from running into another room or something. I just want her to understand that she has to stay here and deal with this. Now, here in this clip, we add a little bit of more temptation. We've put bacon treats in my hand, and the smell of that is a little more tempting for her, and so she's having to work a little harder to stay off. In the first clip, we used the vibration on the Dogtra 300 collar. Now we've gone to a nick, and you see me turning the collar up just a little bit, just enough to get her attention. Okay. So, we did scare her away from this. Okay, now there you saw where I just gave the dog a treat by releasing her and just telling her okay. One of the fallacies about e-collar training is that you are going to make the dog fearful of whatever substance the dog was near when you hit the button. Clearly by this video you can see that that is not the case at all. The dog just simply starts to understand that when it's acceptable, you're going to hand it to me and release me and say okay. Otherwise, I probably should leave this alone and not mess with it. This comes in real handy in a lot of situations. Some people may think that it's teasing the dog, but just consider, what if there was a young child carrying something really low? Does that give the dog the right to grab it out of the kid's hand just because it's at their level? No, it doesn't. There you go. I want you to correct her. Now here we really bumped the ante up. We brought the owner into the situation here, and I'm holding some cheese in my hand. He's got the bacon treats on his side, so the dog kind of bounces back and forth to see which treat she's going to be able to get to without receiving a correction. And you see she comes over to me here. The cheese is a little bit tempting, then she backs away from it. In a little bit here, you're going to see where the dog plays a pretty common trick, and she's going to try and go behind the owner here. There she goes, and see if she can't sneak a quick one in from there. And he fixes it, and she just goes into a sit and starts to behave. And again, you see the dog is understanding that this is not something that's completely off limits to me, but for this point in time, you don't want me touching it for whatever reason. We're going to end this video clip with a little example of how to stop a dog from biting or nipping at you. Call it what you want, but it's completely unacceptable, and your dog should understand that your hand is going to go near their muzzle at some point in time in their life, and they just need to accept that fact and not reach out and put their mouth on you. Okay, that becomes a lick. Good girl. Okay, so she can learn a couple different things all at one time.
I was telling you she